weaker nation. So next point will be a rise of monopoly capitalism. So monopoly is nothing but a single producer or a almost similar commodity or goods producing producer or manufacturer known as monopoly. They will have the entire control around their control. So old ideas of a free trade collapse. So in the ancient times, the entire world had a free entry and free exit of business and other trade activities. After coming of a monopoly system in the year 19th century or in the 1914, so entire free trade activity has been banned or got collapsed. There were trusts in USA and cartels. Cartels nothing but a association of uh, manufacturers or investors. They will form in an association and they will fix some prices or other things to the products whatever they are producing, and they are all together formed and they will have a association or agency that is known as cartels. So in USA, that association or agency will be called as a trust in USA, and in Germany that association will be called as a cartels, CARTELS, cartels. So what this monopoly association or a group will do means they will have entire or sufficient or adequate control over the supply and price of that commodity to its own advantage. So the commodity or a product they are producing, they will have a adequate control over it, how to supply to the market, what price we have to be fixed to the products based on the situation. They will fix. If there is a lots of demand, they will fix a higher prices, and if it is a less demand, they will fix a moderate price. That is known as price of monopoly capitalism. So the term cartel refers to an association based upon a contractual agreement between enterprises in the same field of business. As I said earlier in the first point, in Germany, the manufacturers or producers, they will form an association based on their contractual agreement that is known as cartel. In Germany, they will call it as cartel. In USA, they will call it as trust. So they will form a trust or cartels based on their convenience. They will fix a name of the association or agency. With that agency, they will decide what price we can fix, what commodity or what quantity we can supply to the or sell it in the market. This and all they will discuss under that agency or that association. So their main objective was to exercise monopolistic influence on the market. Why? Because they are forming this trust or cartel is so then only they can have a entire control over that product. Just like, for example, you can take this petroleum. So in India, we have very limited petroleum supplying agencies or companies are there. So they will fix some price. So we can't demand to them and reduce the price for our consumption of petrol at a lower price. So they will fix a fixed price for per day, per week or per month. For that price only we can use or consume the petrol. That is the meaning of the objective was to exercise monopolistic influence on the market. So whatever they want to or they fix the price, that is the only price that we can buy and use the petrol. That is the main objective. The reason why they are forming trust and cartels in Germany. Sorry. So next is imperialism and its essential characteristics. So imperialism is nothing but extending the territory towards the economic and socially, politically weaker nations or weaker continents. That is the meaning of imperialism. Imperialism, IMPERIALI as some imperialism, and what are its essential characteristics or their features. So imperialism and its essential characteristics. So let me see what are its characteristics and its meaning. So capitalism inevitably led to imperialism. So that means, so capitalist nations, what they will do, they have enough capital or funds in their hand. So there is no idea what they will do. They try to expand or conquer or capture the weaker nations or weaker territory that cannot be stopped. Inevitably is nothing but that it cannot be stopped or abandoned or removed. So capitalism is lead to imperialism. Suppose a nation having a more than enough surplus capital in their hands, what they will do, automatically they try to invest on different nation. For investing on different nation, what they will do, they look for expand their territories. Imperialism is nothing but expanding of territory towards the nation which is weaker economically and politically. That is known as capitalism inevitably led to imperialism. According to Lenin, so exam point of view, this is very important. This statement will be asked in the 1 marks or 2 marks or also in the caption. So according to Lenin, imperialism is the highest stage of capitalism. Imperialism is the highest stage of capitalism. So a market for surplus goods, colonies served another purpose, larger scale vast supplies of raw materials, rubber, oil, nitrates, sugar, cotton, tropical foodstuffs, mineral were raw materials which were necessary to monopoly capitalist everywhere. So as I said in the first page and introduction also, so there is a capitalist or imperialist nations or European nations, why they are expanding their colonies or territories is they want raw materials. They want raw materials and certain resources which were available in the weaker nations or in the Africa and Asian continents that are necessary to production purposes. That's why capitalist or imperial nations, they try to colonize or capture or conquer the weaker nations of Africa and Asia. So next is the need to control the sources of raw materials inevitably lead to imperialism. Imperialism was not just about colonies. So imperialism is nothing but, so capitalist nations or imperial nations, they have enough power, they have everything surplus. So to in search of raw materials or markets, there is no option for them. So that's why they are looking to control over the weaker nation. That leads to extending of imperialism and conquering of the weaker nations. It became a total system, the logic of which was total militarization and total war. So I think so imperialism and its essential characteristics I have explained. So simple thing is, so nations which is having a excess or surplus of capital, what they will look, they look for expanding the markets and they look for controlling over the natural resources which are available in the weaker continents and weaker nation. That's why they started capturing a weaker nation. That leads to imperialism or colonization of weaker nations or weaker countries. So now we will move to the next concept. The next concept is the rivalry of great powers. So the meaning for a rivalry of great powers is, rivalry means conflict or clash between the two great powers in the European continent. So in the 19th century, European powers had colonized many other countries. By the 1880, most of the Asian countries had been colonized. Africa only left. So during the 19th century, what happened? European great powers, they colonized or captured the many other countries around the world by the 1880 but except Africa was not captured. So what happened during the 1880? Many of the weaker nations around the world were colonized and captured by the European great powers. Especially Africa was not captured by the European powers. So that led to there is a rival or conflict or clash between the two major great European powers. The occupation, division and the colonization of Africa took place from 1881 to 1914. So up to 1880, the entire world was captured or conquered by the great European powers. So after the 1881 to 1914, two important great rival powers were started or fighting for or scrambling for capturing the African continent. That I showed how they are fighting and how they are getting or capturing the African continent for natural resources and other things which are available in the African continent. So industrial achievements of Germany in the later half of the 19th century gave her a dominating position in Europe. But when Germany came on the scene, the avenues of exploitation were limited as the world was largely occupied by the other imperialist powers, as there was nowhere else to expand. The imperialist powers tried to grab others' position. So what happened? In the later stage of the 19th century only, so as I said earlier, two important major great powers were Austria-Hungary, Germany, and Italy were the Triple Alliance nation that was formed later around the 19th century. So next group was Triple Entente, France, Germany, and Russia were the another group. So before the 19th century, many of the weaker colonies were occupied and captured by the Triple Entente nations like Britain, France, and Russia. They were captured without having any fight among themselves. So after later beginning of the 19th century, what happened? So Germany got into a dominating position in Europe. It became a powerful and it started exploiting or capturing the weaker nation. Already the regions or colonies which were captured by the Triple Entente nations like France, Britain, and Russia. So this led to there is a conflict or clash or fight between the two different major European powers. That is known as a rivalry of great powers. So that led to there is a clash between the two important great powers. So after 1870, automatically led to scramble for colonies among the imperialist powers. So what happened? So after the 1870, there is a consequent or continuous clash or war or rival between the great European or imperial powers in capturing or colonizing the weaker nations. Now we will move to the next concept. So next one is, this is also a little bit similar with the previous concept, clashes among us great powers. So despite the lean in industrial growth and the control of vast empire, England was not satisfied. England was in competition with Germany and United States, which were producing cheaper manufactured goods and thus capturing England's markets. National rivalry led to frequent clash between these great powers in Asia and Africa and Europe. So what happened? So in the early times itself, England is one of the biggest and most powerful European nation. So it's having a continuous clash with Germany and United States. Why? So the Germany and United States were producing cheaper goods and manufacturing cheaper goods, and they were started or dominating or capturing the England's markets. That leads to a clash among us, the great European powers. They were England already having a surplus commodities or goods. It's selling in the African or Asian markets at a reasonable and profitable price. So suddenly, what happened? Germany and United States started manufacturing or interfering in the England captured markets and selling the products at cheaper than the English products or England's products which were selling at a higher prices. So that led to there is a frequent clash between these great powers in Asian continent, African continent, and Europe. So there is a clash started between the England, Germany, and United States because of this. Germany and United States selling their goods they produce at a cheaper cost compared with the England's products in their markets which were captured or dominated by the England's markets. So now we'll move to the next concept. So the colonization, the imperialist powers started colonizing or capturing a weaker Africa and other Asian continents. So that's happening in the from the European part side. So the Asian continent, there is a country or nation which is rising or growing up. That is Japan. In the Asian continent, Japan started rising or it's becoming a more powerful and it's growing. How means in Asian continent, Japan during this period, Meiji era from 1867 to 1912. So during 1867 to 1912, there is an era, means there is a ruler or empire who is ruling during this period, 1867 to 1912, who is known as Meiji or Meiji the ruler or king who is ruling during this period, imitating or following or adapting the what the Western nations are following in their Western styles and Western ideas. Though the outlook of the rulers still remained feudal, Japan took to Western education and machinery. So that means, so some of the Japan rulers or empires, they were still remained feudal means they were bonded with their laborers or landlords or those who are powerful rulers or powerful persons under the control. So feudal is nothing but, so there are some group of people, those who are slave or under the control of those who are having power. That is known as feudal. So in Asia, during this period 1867 to 1912, Japan took to Western education and machinery. That means Japan started adapting or following the Westernized education styles and methods of productions of following the machines and tools which are used by the European powers. So with the modern army and navy, Japan emerged as an advanced industrialized powers in imperialistic aggression. Also, Japan followed the Europe. So Japan at one stage started following the ideas, techniques, philosophies, and methods of education and other artillery, machines, army, navy, and other such things were they started adapting the sir 2:30 மணி ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணீங்களா மணி 3:20 ஆயிடுச்சு போதுங்களா பண்ணிடுவா பாருங்க. Hello children, so I have taught you something through voice video. So from that I am giving some little assignments. Do it. That is from the textbook backs. So find the answers for the choose the correct answer, question number 1 and question number 4. Then after that, block number 6, do it, answer all the questions given under each caption regarding imperialism. And next, block number 9, do the map work. Mark the following countries on the world map, get a world map and mark all these 12 nations. They may come under different European major powers under triple alliance and triple entente. Just do like this as it is given in the page number 3, like this.